Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Caltex Park, Dubbo, where we have a very exciting game coming up this afternoon in our Dubbo RSL Club Under-18s Grand Final between the Forbes Magpies and also Dubbo CYMS. I'm joined by Ben Walker this afternoon. My name is Michael Dumacy, and we will go through the team list now to kick off this afternoon for the clash. I'll hand over now to Ben, who's going to go through the team for Dubbo CYMS.
Thanks, Mike. Number 1 is Harry Blake. Number 2, Sam Thompson. In the 3 jersey, Kenny Johnson. The 4 is Aidan Lake. 5, Tobias Guys. 6 is Matt Burton. 7, Geordie Madden. 8, Joe Clark. Hooker and number 9, Paddy Haycock. Number 10, Todd Devane. The 11 is Tom Stimson. 12 and captain Kobe Wilson. The 13 is James Carter coming off the bench. Number 14, Sullivan Haycock. 15, Jared Peachy. 16, Colby Peckham. 17 is Jed McIntosh. Zarin Galea wears 18. And Jack Allen in jersey number 19 for Dubbo CYMS, who've made their way to the grand final the hard way. They've had to play a couple of extra semi-finals, and of course Forbes, the 9 premiers, winning straight through to the decider today. CYMS on a high after taking out the reserve grade grand final game earlier in the day. 30 points to 20 over Dubbo Macquarie. The Magpies faithful now start clapping on their side, coming out, and Michael will read the team out as they make their way on the field.
Thanks, Benny, and echo the thoughts there. That reserve grade grand final, it was quite fiery, and there was a little bit of controversy throughout, but CYMS a little bit too good in the end with a 30-20 win, as we're just waiting for the Forbes Magpies to take the field. While we wait, we'll go through the Forbes Magpies lineup. Number 1, Charlie Staines. On the wings, we have number 2, Bradley Clifton, and number 5, Thomas Maguire. In the centres, number 3, Christian Marquardt. Number 4, Dennis Bathurst. The 6, Toby Herford. Halfback, Tom Tui. In the front row, number 8, Luke Evans, as the Magpies make their way onto the field behind captain Aaron Marwini. Number 10 is Thomas Hopkins. Number 9, Campbell Woolno. In the back row, number 11, Isaac Bell. Number 12, Carl McLennan. Number 13 is their captain, Aaron Marwini. On the bench, number 14, Jack Hartwig. Number 15 is Mitchell Ruby. Number 16, Thomas Phillips. Number 17, Ray Towney. Number 18, Jake Shaw. Number 19, Sean Towney. And number 20 is John Azzi. They're coached by Jason Kennedy. And their league safe, Cameron Greenhedge, along with Troy Herford and Darren Butler. It's a dream team right the way through, Benny. They've really got a good lineup there, the Forbes Magpies side. But the battle of the coaches is also an interesting battle. Jason Kennedy, of course, well known throughout Group 11, squaring off with Bernard Wilson, who is a legend in the Dubbo area and very well known. But
Certainly Wilson made some enormous with Dubbo CYMS through the hands of Nick Wilson, and of course Bernard, Nick Wilson coaching the reserve grade side as well. Here about half an hour ago, as a very both very, very good footballers in their own right. They're also doing a good job of the next batch of players that are coming through. Mick Medlin is our referee today. The touch judges Jason Bain and Dale Smith. John Birch and Alicia Hopkins are manning the in-goal areas as we prepare for the kick-off here. Matt Burton, youngsters in the region, will get us underway. He's the 5'8", really the key playmaker for CYMS here today. Of course, a representative player throughout the course of the season as well. So, referee Medlin now just checking for the ground to be cleared. Checks his watch, looks up to the ground announcer's box. Ready to get underway here for the 2018 Under-18 Grand Final as CYMS kick off down to the Magpies. It's an awkward kick-off, and it looks like it's found touch, so it's the ideal start for CYMS. I think the Forbes guys thought that it may have found touch on the full. They let it bounce, and not a good start for the favoured Magpies.
no, Benny, it couldn't have started in any worse a fashion here for the Magpies. And as you say about Matt Burton, the raps on this kid are quite high. I seen him there at Parks a couple of weeks ago tear the Parks under-18s apart in a display of football that I haven't seen for a long time from the junior Katoni Stags like, and we know what Katoni's doing at the moment sort of a one-man sort of a team there with Burton when he was on fire there the other day as they sweep out the back here to Burton. Burton hits a short ball there to captain Kobe Wilson. He's going to be taken down here on the second tackle, about 15 metres away from the Forbes line as the ball comes out. Burton swings it out wide here to number 16, which is Colby Peckham. He's taken in a massive tackle there by young Tui underneath, and over the top Aaron Winnie, the captain of the Forbes side. They're going to come left here, and ball out to the second rower here from Dubbo Sims. It's been knocked on there by Tom Stimson, picked up by Tommy Tui, and the Magpies dodge a bullet early, Ben.
They do now. They make their way out to the 30-metre line after some solid defence there. It comes out now, makes its way forward there. I think that was the 10 there, Tommy Stimson, he's been tackled about 38 metres out from his own line. Comes across now. They put in an early kick here, the Magpies. There's no one back, and it's just short of the 20-metre line. Get a repeat set of 6 and just miss out. And that'll be a scrum feed to Sims, 21 metres out from the goal. It's been a strange start to the match with of course, the kick-off going out, a drop ball, an early kick, and almost a 40-20, and we've only had 2 minutes of play.
Yeah, Benny, definitely. These teams will be both here to play today. You just have to look at the talent on display out here, Ben. Charlie Staines there in the one for Forbes. He's been instrumental throughout the Penrith SG ball campaign, along with Matt Burton. They were teammates down at Penrith, squaring up against each other today as Sims look to ruck their way out of trouble here as they come through the hooker there across to number 10 with the beautiful haircut, Todd Devine with the mullet. He's a bit of a cult figure throughout Group 11, Ben, no doubt, as Sims looking to come away from their own line, still through the hooker. He's taken down 40 metres away from his own line, Paddy Haycock. They swing wide and kick early through Burton. He's going to put a test up here for ex-teammate Charlie Staines, who takes it on the full. He starts to make his way back, and this kid is a kamikaze coming back at the line. He's taken down 25 metres away from his own line, and Staines as a name we'll see predominantly throughout the day as long as he can stay injury-free.
Magpies now make their way up towards the halfway line. That is Christian Markle. He goes over the halfway line, making metres after contact. Good effort there, going to the dummy half now. It's Campbell now of course over to 13 there, which is Aaron Winnie, the captain. He's taken 40 metres out from the Sims line. Comes now from no, he finds his halfback there. It's out now to the 12, which is Kyle McClenaghan. He makes a break. McClenaghan is brought down 10 metres now. Desperate defence by Sims. Forbes on the attack here. It's the last tackle. It comes across now. Oh no, he goes from dummy half himself. That's the centre 3/4. That was number 4, Spackers, and he's caught just short of the try line. Some enterprising play from the Magpies. Unfortunately for them, not rewarded. 4 minutes in, 0-0.
Benny, this Forbes team has a speckle of the class that Cameron Greenhalgh brings along with him to any sort of a club. He is running the water down there for the Forbes Magpies, but Cameron has been a instrumental part of junior rugby league and also stepping up into the seniors for the Forbes area and also the Western Division area. He's been a coach of a country championships winning side there a couple of years back. He is touted as the next country coach for the under 18s, and you can just see that little bit of class that they've got, that bit of urgency, strong work ethic as we see Sims make their way out of trouble here on the 40-metre line. But Forbes really getting up in defence here as the ball comes back from Haycock, who finds Burton, and Burton again straight down the throat of Charlie Staines. A little juggle there from Staines, but he's on his way back. Staines splits him straight through the middle, and Staines is on a run. He steps back through from the inside. Staines finds the hooker there, which is Campbell Wilno, and the Maggies are in for the first try of the afternoon. A bit of brilliance there from Charlie Staines.
Well, it's been an enterprising 5 minutes to start this grand final, and Staines is the guy from Forbes who's we earmarked early on that was going to be a key for the Magpies, and it was a kick from his Penrith teammate Matt Burton, which he almost lost. He found a gap, burst through, and supporting was Campbell Woolno, as all good hookers do, backing up the man with the ball, and an ideal start for Forbes. They'll play from in front, 5.5 minutes gone, it's 4-0, and really they set the example with the set of 6 prior to that, where they almost crossed the line. And Sims, of course, then tried to make their way out from their own territory a kick straight down the throat of the fullback, and that's the first glimpse of magic from Staines today. I don't think it'll be the last by any stretch of the imagination. It looks like it's the halfback here, Thomas Tui, who's going to line up the shot at goal. And you'd imagine that he'll slot this over, and we'll be looking at 6-0 in favour of Forbes. You mentioned Cameron Greenhalgh, he's out there with the water. He's throwing the instructions around. Of course, he was the coach of the Forbes 18s a few years ago when they had, a terrific side featuring his son Nick Greenhalgh, Hayden Bolam, guys like that have really gone on. And as Tui adds the extras at 6-0, and a wealth of rugby league knowledge, and these guys in the Forbes 18s will be learning hell of a lot from Cameron, and of course he'll back up in a couple of hours time and try and help the Magpies first grade side to victory over CYMS, with the two clubs meeting in the first grade decider as well, as we approach almost 7 minutes gone here in the under-18s grand final. It's Forbes 6, CYMS 0, as we wait for a ball to make its way back. We've got the tee, but we haven't got the ball, so Matt Burton will get play back underway. It's a glorious day here at Apex Oval. You couldn't ask for a better grand final day weather-wise, and the crowd's building up over there on the hill, and the grandstand is, of course, full to capacity as Burton gets us back underway. It's a high kick-off. The 10 there, Thomas Hopkins, he crashes into the CYMS defence, and they're already 25 metres out from their own line, the Magpies. Bruno goes into dummy half, the first try scorer. Gets it across there to one of the back rowers. He makes his way forward there. I can't quite grab his number. He's got the red and yellow distinctive headgear on him. Comes across now to Luke Evans. He's a giant, Luke Evans. He's going to take some bringing down throughout the course of the day. He gets it up towards the halfway line. Now it comes back to Hopkins again. Busy early, the big front rower. Makes yet another charge, makes 8 or 10 metres. Brought down on the fourth tackle, Bruno into dummy half. Looks to his left, looks to his right. It goes across there to Tui. Tui puts the kick in and finds the space. It's picked up there by Sam Thompson, who makes his way back. And there's a penalty to CYMS. Chases inside the 10 from an offside position. It's an open relief for the Fishers.
Just when Forbes were trying to turn the screws there, Benny, they had a really good set getting out of their own end here, and they've been penalised. A couple of the boys there within the 10 metres. I think the captain, Mar Winnie, was one of them that was in there. As CYMS bring the ball forward now through number 13, and he's hit front on there by Mar Winnie. And the 13 is James Carter. He's taken down. They swing the ball out through the 16 now, which is Colby Peckin with a strong run. He's still going here, 40 metres away from the Forbes line. That ball will be played back to Haycock as there's a bit of push and shove through the middle, and the boys come together. But we have got time off. There is a bit of push and shove here between McClanahan and also Peckham, and over in the back, Tom Tui. Well, I coached Tom Tui last year, Benny, and let's just say he sat on the ball a lot when the fights were on last year. We'll leave it at that, and he'd be quite happy to say that, as the boys are torn apart, and we do have time off here. But look at the wealth of experience out there in the. We keep going back to the Water Boys. Luke Jenkins for Dubbo CYMS, and also Shane Madden, as we see 10 in the win here for the Forbes player, which is Kyle McClanahan. He's on his way to the bench, and also the 16 here from CYMS being called out, which was Colby Peckham. He's going to go for 10. So the boys at loggerheads early. I think we'll have a penalty here to Dubbo CYMS. Yes, we do. But the boys blowing off a little bit of steam early in the game, and hopefully that's the last we see of that, Benny. As CYMS start to move forward here through Todd Devine. We're just going to get the ball called back here. The referee wasn't ready, as a bit of a breaking play here. He wants it again here, young Devine. We've got time off. And the Forbes boys starting to lose their discipline a little bit here. And the referee Mick Medlin just making sure he gets his game under control. As Devine moves forward again here, both teams down one player, and this will make for interesting football now, Ben, as CYMS are on the attack through their halfback. They swing it wide here through the number 3, which is Kenny Johnson. He's taken down 30 metres away from the Forbes line, and CYMS well and truly on the attack trying to bridge this gap. They come through the middle here through number 11, which is Tom Stimson. He's taken down the 7 barking orders here. Geordie Madden, he wants the ball. He gets the ball. They'll bring it through Burton. Burton switches it back on the inside there to Jared Peachy. He's taken down 25 away from the line. Burton gets the ball. He's going to go himself. No, he shows a short ball here through Aiden Lake. He's taken down about 10 metres away. We got 5th and last. Burton gets the ball and he goes to the sky. He's going to test the wide men out here from CYMS. Up after the ball there was the CYMS and also Forbes players, but it's taken into touch here. I'm not sure who it's off. I think it may be off the Dubbo CYMS boys, and Forbes will have a turnover here 10 metres away from their own line, and the crowd is right into this game.
That they are. I don't think there's too much in that. Even obviously, referee Medlin just looking to set a bit of a tone. He doesn't put any rubbish in the way. Both sides down to 12 men as Spathis makes his way forward. Goes into dummy half. They finds the big guy again. Thomas Hopkins lurching forward the big front row. He's taken the second tackle 30 metres out of his own line, brought down by Hayden. All back in the dummy half again. A little bit of disorganisation there as Staines gets the ball. I don't know if it's spent for him, but he's made another 12 metres forward, and he's had a strong start to the game. Charlie Staines, the forward Magpies, comes down from Warnow, gets it across to 2-2. Finds the 14 there, which is Jack Hartley. And he penalty blown by referee Medlin as the CYMS defence has not 10 metres back. And this will be an opportunity for Forbes to really truly go on that. Penalty 42 metres out from the CYMS line. Forbes will find touch through the halfback, Tom Toomey. He's hit the grease there, so he's all right there. Lug on the attack here, about 25 metres out from the CYMS line. This will be a test for the Fishies. 12-man defensive line. It's now the 14 down, which is Jack Hartley. Some support on the outside. He goes himself. Almost dragged down 2 metres out from the CYMS line. Testing times here for the Fishies. Another try here, and all of a sudden there could be some trouble. Awfully close there, and another penalty. High tackle this time from the CYMS defence. Interesting choice here for the man. They're going to set up to go again. Here he goes again to 10. Thomas Hopkins barging forward. He's a leader out. Plenty of pressure here for the Fishies. Can they stand up to it? In a dummy half, drove the pass out. He finds Tui there. Tui off the right foot again. He darts over and it's over. Tom Tui over next to the posts. It's 10-0 to the Forbes Magpies after 12 and a half minutes of play. And some poor discipline there, hurting the Fishies. A couple of consecutive penalties, and the Magpies have made them pay with a try adjacent to the post. You'd imagine in a minute or so we'll be looking at 12-0 in favour of the Nine Criminals.
Summed up beautifully there by young Tui. He's a very good player in the making, is young Tommy Tui. He has represented at some of the highest levels throughout his junior campaign. Now he's up into the seniors and really taking this Forbes team by the scruff of the neck, and a nice little jig back off his right, straight off the left, and in next to the post, and he will line this up and look to take Forbes on to 12 points. They made a quick few interchanges too there, Benny. Those boys that got through that high workload, the 8 and the 10 being Luke Evans and also Thomas Hopkins being replaced, and 2 very able replacements brought onto the field, and it looks like their second rower has been replaced also, which is Isaac Bell, and the kid that has replaced him, number 14, Jack Hartwig, out onto the field. This kid's already built up a massive honour roll. He was the captain of the Western Rams Laurie Daly Shield side. He went on to be selected in the countryside and has signed with the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs, heading down that way to link up with Dubbo boy Dean Pay. And from all reports, talking to Jack's father, and only last weekend that he is absolutely relishing that that role down there with Canterbury and looking to move down there in 2020 as another kickoff, which is a bit wobbly off the boot, and coming back through the ruck there was number 16, which is Thomas Phillips. He's taken down about 30 metres away from his own line. Ball comes back here through to the other replacement front row, which is Mitch Rudy. He's taken down in a good two-man tackle there by Dubbo Sims as Medlin pulls the game up just to bring them back to play the ball in the right position. Woolno now to Marwini. Marwini making another strong run. Another Western Division player playing amongst these Sims boys, amongst these Forbes boys, sorry, as they move forward here through Woolno. Woolno finds the 16 there, which is Thomas Phillips. He's taken in a tackle there about 35 metres away from his line. The Sims boys under pressure again here as a kick goes through there from Woolno. He finds the deck and it's scooped up there by big Sims winger, which is, I think it's Tobias Dries or Samuel Thompson, sorry. No, Tobias Dries taken in the tackle there, high by Campbell Woolno, and the Fishies just let off the hook there a little bit. Benny?
Yeah, it was a good little play there by Campbell Woolno to put the kick through, but he did grab Tobias Dries high, and Burton now just soaking up a little bit of time as well, and they take the tap. A shock move there, and that's Jared Peachy hitting the ball up there, wearing the 15 jersey, going into dummy half there. No, we've got another penalty, holding down in the ruck. He's got another penalty. This time I think they'll probably look for touch to gain extra around the 14 there, so I think take the tap again, and it's Peachy. Peachy gets the ball across there now. His support players goes into dummy half. Young Hancock finds a little bit of space. Moving forward there now through the three. Kenny Johnson, and he's now 40 metres out from the Forbes line for really the second time in the match. Sims going on the attack as it comes across now to the front rower in the form of Joe Clark, and he's brought down 38 metres out from the Forbes line. Haycock gets it across to Peachy. Peachy barges forward. He's taken a good tackle 30 metres out from the Forbes line. Haycock now gets it across there to the halfback, Geordie Madden. Geordie Madden finds some support there in the form of Kenny Johnson. Dragged down, fifth and last tackle, 15 metres out. Sims on the attack. Comes across now to Burton. Second man off the ruck. He puts a little kick in and holds up in the in goal, and Staines is forced to make a decision to push it towards there. Line drop out here for the Magpies, and the class of Burton showing through there with a deft little kick, which has forced a repeat set of 6 here for the Fishies. And the Magpies defence held up well, but they'll have to do it again.
Touch of class there by Burton, knowing that maybe a little bit spongy there in the in goal. Talking to a couple of players, they said the ground is suitable for a kicking game if you can get it to pull up in the right spots and stuff like that. As we see Charlie Staines take the drop out straight down to Burton with, on the outside, Clark charging back into them, and Joe Clark. Oh no, Burton took his own tackle there, and they're going to set up shop here 35 metres away from the Forbes line. Now it finds Clark. Clark moves forward, taken there by Herford, and over the top was Phillips. He'll play the ball here. Back to Haycock. Haycock will find Peachy. Back to Haycock. Out to Madden. Madden around the back there to the fullback, which is Harry Blake. On the outside there to Dries, who's taken, and they're trying to push him into touch, and will find touch. Good scrambling defence there from the Forbes Magpies boys. And the Dubbo Sims boys trying everything here at Forbes. You'd think at some stage they're going to be able to find their way across and find a bit of space here the way they're playing. It's enterprising football from both sides. But
of course, both sides down to 12 men still, so a little bit of extra room out on the field. Both some good play by Sims. They put a bit of pressure on. They forced the Forbes defence to make some decisions, but ultimately the Magpies were able to stand up to the barrage that was thrown at them. 12-0, we're 11 minutes out from the time. It's been an enterprising under-18s grand final. Tries to Campbell Woolno, and the second try was scored by Tom Tui. 2 goals to Tom Tui, 1,000 as the Forbes ruck the ball out from their own line. Comes forward now to one of the replacement. So I think that was number 15 there, Mitchell Ruby. He's taken it. He's light foot. He's taken it a good way attack. Danger man brought down 42 metres out. Over the dummy half. Goes himself, finds some support there on the outside in the forward half. Trying to get up, get a quick play the ball going, and in the process he's dropped the ball, and Sims will have the scrum feed 5 metres from halfway, and they'll get another opportunity to go on the attack.
I think we need to find some scissors here for young Hartwig. All he's done is flicked his hair from his eyes, but he won't mind. He won't mind talking about that, Jack, as long as his football is taking shape. But he has dropped the ball there, and is a very costly error here for Forbes, as they seem to be building pressure this Forbes side. They drop the ball, they make a silly mistake or something along those lines. They if they settle down and play football, they'll be very hard to hold out again. But once again, they're letting Sims come back into the game as Haycock takes the ball there from the play the ball, comes across to Peachy. Peachy looking for support as he's bent over in a tackle there underneath with the two blokes that come on in the front row, Ruby and Phillips. As coming forward here for Sims was number 11, Tom Stimson. He's taken down. The ball comes across here. It'll find Peachy again. He's got through some work today, Peachy, the big fella with the long hair and the and also the headgear on, as they come across here now through Madden. Madden will dab one through off Spathis, not knocked on, not played at, and he dives on the ball, and Forbes diffuse the situation again through Spathis. Another Western Division player through this Forbes side as they try to make their way out of trouble. Woolnough will be here, and what have we got here? Now they've made the tackle there on the winger, which is Clifton, as the ball comes back here through Hartwig. Hartwig's tackled there, 25 metres away from his own line. Up to Woolnough now. He finds Herford. Herford across here to Ruby. Ruby will cart the ball forward, 40 metres away. They're looking to get a bit of a roll on here, Forbes, and get down in their own end as Ruby gets up and plays the ball. Back to Herford. Herford inside the 40, finds space here. It's a good kick. It just needs to find a bit of a bounce. It's going to go dead in goal, though, on young Herford. A 7 tackle set here for Dubbo Sims, and once again Forbes have let him off the line.
We've got a big 8 minutes and 18 seconds coming up prior to half-time. Of course, a 7 tackle set here for Sims, and you think that Sims are going to need to put some points on before the break in order just to get themselves back into the contest. 12-0, as I said, 8 minutes prior to half-time, as Tobias Dries now out of dummy half. A good run there, and he goes forward for 10 or 12 metres, brought down in a 2-man tackle. They work him over on the ground, slow play the ball, comes out. Haycock throws a dummy, taken there by the second rower in the form of McClenaghan, back on the field after extending the sin bin. Number 17 for Sims going forward there, that's Jed McIntosh. He's dragged down, and another penalty to the 50s. Players inside the 10, and Sims really getting an opportunity here now to go on the attack. And as we mentioned, they'll be looking to put some points on the board prior to the half-time break. The score's 12-0 in favour of Forbes. Tries to Woolnough and Tui. Tui is 2 from 2 with the conversions. It's a choo-choo-choo. Haycock now takes the tap, brings it across, finds the centre there in the form of Kenny Johnson. He's taken in the centre of the park, 28 metres out. Devane now comes across, enterprising play, a little scissor play there, and that was Aidan Lake brought down 20 metres out. Comes across now from Haycock to Burton. Burton gets it across to the 16, which is Colby Peck. He barges forward, taken down 11 metres out. That's the third tackle. Haycock into dummy half. And there's a knock on there by Sims, and the pressure valve has just been released on the Magpies. 12-0, 6.5 minutes out from half-time. You get a sense that was a good opportunity for Sims, and they've let it slip.
Definitely, Ben. The Forbes boys have been camped down in this end. They've been toing and froing. Sims have had a lot of ball in the last 10 minutes or so down in the Forbes end without being able to break them, as both the sin bin players have made their way back out on the field, that being Peckham and also McClenaghan from Forbes as they try to make their way out of their own end through Mark Ward here. He's taken down 15 metres away. Woolno will go into dummy half. He'll find on the outside here Mar Winnie. Hasn't been off for a break yet, Mar Winnie. He's served the whole first half, nearly out on the field. He will come on in first grade at some stage, you would think, for the Forbes Magpies. He's named on the bench. As I say that, he's about to come and have a break, Mar Winnie. The kiss of death, as always, as we start to make their way out here. The Forbes Magpies through Phillips. He's taken down there. Woolno across here to Herford. Herford will throw Hartwig back on the inside there, and Hartwig's going to be taken down 5 metres into Sims territory. As we find the fifth and last here, and a bit of a call from the Magpies boys to get the Sims boys out of the ruck as Herford goes to the air with a skyscraper. A bit of a test here for fullback, which is Harry Blake, and he's off and gone here, Blake. Blake busts through the tackle, and a bit of cover defence there from Mark Ward and also Herford, and I think it was over the top there. Yeah, Hartwig was in there too, so they were taken down there, and another big hit there from Herford, and of course Phillips in there also, who made the tackle. As the Sims boys make their way to the 50-metre line now, and it's played there from Haycock back to Blake. He'll come across here and he'll find one of the front rowers. It looks to be maybe Joe Clark there, or one of the replacements. Number 17 that was, which was Jed McIntosh. As Sims put a kick through, and Charlie Staines quite happy to let that go over the sideline. Give his boys a bit of a breather. There's hands on hips. It's a hot day out there, Benny, and yeah, they wouldn't be expecting this really warm atmosphere and that here today, being at the end of winter, and what's been a cold winter, but plenty of warm conditions out there for the boys today.
Beautiful conditions in God's country this afternoon. I don't know what it was like in Parks, but we've got 4 minutes left on the clock. It's 12-0 in favour of Forbes in what's been a really good first half of football. Forbes have shown plenty in glimpses as it comes across now from the scrum. It's taken there, they've only made a couple of metres off that scrum play. Comes out now to one of the replacement players there, and Sims really aiming up in defence here. Good tackle there, Aiden Lako. Now he comes across and finds a good run coming forward there by the prop forward, Luke Evans. Third tackle, 30 metres out now. Slow to get up and play the ball. The front rower, Hopkins now, barging forward again. He's back on the field, on his right. And referee Medlin blows another penalty to the Magpies. 3 minutes left on the clock, and they're going to go on the attack. And depending on how this set plays out, they may, if they don't score a try, to make it a 13-point lead going into the half-time break. As Tui finds touch there, 45 metres out from the line. He takes the tackle, taking it forward there now as Isaac Bell in the distinctive red headgear. First tackle, goes on dummy half, gets it across now. Hartwig takes it forward, barges forward, making good meters after contact with Bain there over the top. Won't miss him with the head. And another penalty, laying on the man in the ruck. And now the Magpies have got a decision to make. Referee Greenhouse. Waterboy Cameron Greenhouse puts the two fingers up, and it'll be Tom Tui who will look to make this a 14-point lead to the Magpies. Only 2 minutes left on the clock prior to the half-time break as referee Medlin tells the Sims runners to get off the field. Shane Madden's just got his marching orders. Again, we've got time off now. Referee Medlin calling out the Fisher's captain, which is Kobe Wilson. No doubt talking about the discipline. Some of the players, there's been a few penalties blown here in the first half. 2 minutes 6 left on the clock. Tom Tui will line up this shot at penalty goal, which will give his side, if it's successful, a 14-0 lead approaching half-time here in the 2018-18 grand final.
Young Tui, he handles pressure quite well. He's been a kid that's come through as Greenhouse and Herford get their marching orders. Also a video, I think about 1988, roughly. Troy might crucify me here for saying he's that old, but he was a flying centre for the Forbes Magpies. He had long blonde locks back there, and there's a vision of him playing against the Wellington Cowboys, taking off down this this western touchline and going the length of the field and scoring. And his young bloke Toby out here playing today as Tui steps into this one and strikes it straight between the uprights. A calculated decision there from CYMS. 14-0 heading into to Forbes. 14-0 heading into half-time here, and you would think that that'll nearly get us to half-time. Then in what has been a half of tossing and turning, Forbes have got the upper hand. Probably could be a little bit further on top with a little bit of discipline and also a little bit with the handling errors and stuff like that, as young Burton directs the kick out towards that eastern touchline again, taken there by Woolno. He's taken in a tackle. 50 seconds to go here in the first half. Spathis goes into dummy half. Safe football here is going forward there for Forbes was Tom Hopkins. He's taken down 35 metres away from the Forbes line. Woolno across here, taking the ball forward. Staines just sniffing around for a tide forward here as we get towards the end of the first half. Woolno will jump into dummy half here. Hartwig says, give me some ball. He doesn't go that way. McClellan wants the ball, and he busts the line here with a strong burst. He's still going McClellan. He's going to be taken down 30 metres away from the line as they play the ball here. Woolno goes across here to Staines. Staines will find Spathis. Spathis up the touchline. He's big, he's strong, and he finds it in goal. Forbes will go over, and you'd think that set a dagger straight through the hearts of the CYMS under-18 side. They will go to the break with a big lead, the Forbes Magpies.
Of course, right on the half-time side of the clock, about 3 seconds left on Spathis barged over. That's 16-0 with a kick to, that's 18-0. So it's got a penalty goal, it's 14-0 lead. 18-0, this kick is a big kick. It could be a 20-point lead at half-time. You mentioned leading into that set of 6. Potentially could be a little bit further in front. Well, in the space of 60 seconds, the game will change. Crossing it now, that bumps out to 18, potentially 20. This is going to check in the sheds at half-time because it's a big bounce to come back against the quality side like Forbes. Giving up 18, 20, this is by far the most difficult attempted goal Tom Tribby has had this afternoon. Take a base of the opportunity. Spathis didn't show some strength to barge over and some slip hands down the right hand side of the Magpies. And Spathis just run over to the down to the lines the conversion up. Makes his way in, strikes it well. He's got the distance. The referees do not move with that. 20 points still there in the field. And they have to say Nick, that's deservedly.
Going into half-time, Ben, we did say, like you said, they probably could have been in front by further falls, but 20-0 lead. They don't want to go to sleep here at half-time because these CYMS boys are very, very good. They did play well at Parks going back 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they've worked their way through against Wellington and teams like that. They're going into half-time, 20-0. These Forbes might have gone up early. I hope they haven't gone up too early, but it's been a very good half here from the Forbes Magpies. We'll head into half-time now and be back very shortly for the second half. We're back here for the second half of the under-18s as Charlie Staines gets a kick-off away here for the Forbes Magpies, taken there by Madden. Brought forward here by the Dubbo CYMS number 11, which is Tom Stimson. Ball comes back here through Haycock. Haycock picks the ball up and he's hit massively there by Kyle McClellan over the top. He's had his fair deal of trouble today. McClellan in the bin for a little while as Peachy brings the ball forward. He's a workhorse, this young Peachy. He's taken down 35 metres away from his own line. Ball goes back to Burton, looking to exploit this very good kicking game of his. It bounces back over Staines' head, but he's going to get to it before it's a 40-20. Charlie Staines brings the ball back here for Forbes, 10 metres away from his own line, and that's a good start by the Fishies, Ben.
They needed that after conceding points right on half-time. They've aimed up in defence. I think Bernie Wilson's given them nicely to rev up in the change rooms at half-time. As they line up again, 3 in the tackle, including the prop there, Joe Clark. Forbes struggling to make ground here as they make their way along their own line. Good run there by Aaron Martin. He gets it up towards the 40-metre line. They needed that. That's 4 tackles down. CYMS laying on top of the tackle. Comes out now to the prop forward there, the big number 8, Luke Evans. He takes them over halfway into the space of 2 tackles. They've got themselves out of trouble now. In the dummy half, gets it to Tui. Tui runs the ball on the last, gets it across there to the forward. Spathis, who scored just before half-time. Clennahan gets the ball, but it's a penalty to CYMS, given up on the last tackle by the team with the ball. And officials will come forward now. Burton will try and touch it, uses a banana kick, and makes some good ground off the tight angle. CYMS will be on the attack here from inside the 40 metres. And they'll be looking for some early points here. It's 20-0 in favour of the Magpies. Haycock takes the tap, gets it across there to Stinson. He goes forward, Metman will tackle there. Haycock now in the dummy half again, gets it across to Burton. Burton finds the prop there. Joe Clark, he barges forward. Inside the 30-metre line now. Haycock goes for himself from dummy half, gets it across to Peachy. Peachy goes forward again with another big run. And referee Medlin has blown another penalty to CYMS. The mark is not lining up square. CYMS go on the attack here from 15 metres out. And an opportunity to put early points on. Peachy takes the tap and puts on a goose step, goes forward. He's met with a good tackle there. 9 metres out from the line. Haycock into dummy half, gets it across to the front forward. He throws the dummy there, big Joe Clark. He's brought down about 3 metres out. Haycock gets across there. Throws an awkward pass, comes across to the fullback there, Harry Blake. Harry Blake avoids the first tackle taken there by the front rower. Luke Evans dragged out about 3 metres out. Haycock in at dummy half, finds the centre three-quarter there, and Aiden Lake barges away from the couple, gets himself to the line, gets over the line, but it appears as though he's been held up, and that's good defence by the Magpies. We take it back to the 10-metre line, and CYMS throwing everything at early in the second half. It's been all CYMS since play resumed. Blake plays the ball now, comes across to Peachy. He's been heavily involved. Burton spreads it across now to Geordie Madden. Awkwardly beats a couple of them, gets it on the outside to Kenny Johnson. Kenny Johnson steps inside, and he's dragged down some good scrambling defence by the Magpies. They put him down. It's the 5th and last tackle. 2 metres out. Haycock gets it across to Burton. Burton off the right foot, goes himself, gets the offload away, and Forbes are there to jump on the ball. It's a knock on anyway. And well defended there by the Magpies. CYMS threw everything at them there. Burton asked some questions on the last tackle, but the Magpies have survived.
We knew that the momentum was going to swing, Benny. CYMS just had to hang on to the ball. They've held on for it here in the first 4 minutes of the first half and applied a heap of pressure here to the Forbes Magpies defence. They've held on well, actually. Forbes, as we see the Forbes boys coming off their own line through Evans. He's a big bopper, this Evans. He gets through a lot of work for a big boy. He's taken down 32 metres away from his own line across to Marwini. Marwini signals a dummy back on the inside. He gets the offload away here for Herford. Herford out the back here for Marcourt. Marcourt trying to put on some fancy feet. He gets the ball away there to his winger, and he's going dangerously close to touch here, which he hasn't gone into touch. That's the 2 Bradley Clifton. He'll play the ball here just short of the halfway. Clifton back to Marcourt. Marcourt spins away, and up the touchline goes Marcourt. He's away. Staines in support. Charlie Staines looking to burn Blake. He's taken there with a beautiful tackle around the legs there by young Blake. Harry Blake making the tackle that had to be made there on Staines across to Herford. He looks up and sees Spathis, the flying Spathis. Both miss the ball. The ball's picked up by Forbes, and I think that's a try. Number 5. Thomas Maguire looks like he's flown above the pack here. And the Forbes Magpies, as Nick Medlin, referee, just concurring here with his in-goal referee and both touch officials, but you'd think it's a try here today so far, Ben.
He makes his way over. It'll be interesting to see. He points to the spot. That's a try. I think he was just checking the contest there between the centre and the CYMS winger, and it was left to Tom Maguire just to pick the ball up. And there was a little bit going on after he scored the try too. He got up and had a bit to say to one of the CYMS guys who came over the top after he'd grounded the ball. But after withstanding all the pressure in the first 5 minutes or so of the second half, it's Matt Forbes who've gone over, courtesy of the winger Thomas Maguire. That's 24-0 in favour of the Magpies, and Tom Toohey will have a kick here from basically the opposite touchline to where he nailed one right on half-time. Similar sort of kick to the opposite end of the ground. Not the preferred side for the right footer by any stretch, but he made no mistake with the one prior to half-time. And this is we keep saying it, this is a big kick because this pushes it out past 4 converted tries if he's able to land it. We've got a good view of it from here, and he shanked it nowhere near it. Looks like one of my tee shots on a Saturday morning. It's 24-0. That's by far his worst kick of the day. He's got a smile on his face though, and continues an up and down day for young Tom Toohey. I think he locked the keys in the car or something this morning. Forgot to lock the car at some point. Something happened, but as it goes, he's looking like he's going to be celebrating a premiership success tonight as Burton drills the kick off low. It catches a Forbes Magpie there, and he jumps on the ball, beats a tackle. That was the centre three-quarter Christian Markwart. Going into dummy half now, Isaac Bell. He goes forward, met there in some solid defence, but he rebounds out of it. Gets up, plays the ball, 30 metres shy of his own line. The lock forward now, Aaron Marwini. He's been impressive, goes forward, getting through a mountain of work. Campbell Wilmo goes into dummy half now. Scurries himself, but there's a knock on. As soon as you give a bloke a rap, he drops the ball. And that was a mistake from Aaron Marwini, but Forbes in control here. 24-0 is the score. We've got 23 minutes left in the 2018 under-18 season.
Yeah, after that try, Ben, I think the nest would be well warm here for the Magpies. They'd be starting to get a little bit excited. The Forbes faithful, they're right across the hill. They're back down here to the left of us, Ben, the Forbes supporters, of course, the Fishies boys here on the right, and they've set battle lines nice and early on grand final day as the ball comes away here through the 5. Tobias Dryers is going to be taken down for the Fishies about 20 metres away from his own line. Blake in at dummy half, gets a ball across here to the 16, which is Colby Peckham. Peckham will play the ball back here to Haycock. Haycock across here to Blake. Blake getting his hands on the ball a lot more as Burton shifts the ball out the back here to Aiden Lake. He's taken in a good tackle by Markwart. Yeah, the referee's going to tell him to come back and play the ball. In there at dummy half was the winger out on that side. Samuel Thompson gets the ball away here to the 13, James Carter. It's been a little bit quiet today, Carter, looking to inject himself into the game. The ball comes back to Burton. Burton to Lake. Lake cuts back through. The lad with the long hair and the headgear's taken down here about 6 metres away from his own line on the 5th and last. They look for Burton. Burton gets the ball. He puts it on the toe. Getting through there after it was a couple of CYMS players, but they'll watch it go dead. 7 tackles here for Forbes. And Benny, if they march up field here, Forbes, get a good kick into the in goal and create a bit of pressure with 21 minutes to go, I'm happy enough to say that she'll nearly be lights.
It's a bold call. Referee Medlin blows time off there with Forbes looking to get back underway now. 7 tackle set, as you've mentioned. It was a good little kick by Burton, just the chase was lagging a little bit right out there on the wing, but the prop forward now, Luke Evans, barges forward. He's been a powerhouse, Evans, getting through a mountain of work as it comes across now to Isaac Bell in the distinctive red headgear. He barges forward. Well, that's tackle 2. Woolno from dummy half goes for a scurry himself, makes half a break. He's brought down. Good tackle there. 3 in it, including the prop forward, Joe Clark. Woolno gets up now. Bell into dummy half this time. Gets it to Stain. Switches direction. Goes across now to the 5'8" in Murphy. Puts a kick through. Not much of a chase on it though. Harry Blake gets back. Picks it up. Darts back in field. Meets Herford. Puts on the big Ben. And Toohey's come up with a big shoulder charge with him here. The referee Medlin is blowing the penalty, and all the pressure that the Forbes were looking to build there will be released here as Burton looks to put in a big kick, fine touch. The big left boot goes bang, and he goes up towards halfway. He's made 35 metres with that kick. Seems to take possession pretty much on the halfway line. It's Haycock now, he takes the tap. Looks inside, finds the second rower, Kobe Wilson. He goes forward, the skipper. He'll be looking to fire his side up in the remaining 20 minutes. He get them back into the contest. He misses on the ground. Haycock now comes across to Peachy, getting up through another hit up, goes forward. 3 in the tackle again from Forbes. They might be 24 up, they're still willing in defence. They're meeting Sims with plenty of vigour in defence. Haycock now at dummy half, gets it across to Burton. Looks on the outside, there's a mistake there by Jordan Noble, kicked up by Spathis. He's brought down by the fullback. Harry Blake gets in. Now a penalty, wouldn't let the man get up off the ground. And where Sims were looking to put some pressure on and get on the scoreboard, a simple error followed by a penalty, and it looks like Forbes now will take possession. They'll elect to take a tap again. Go forward this time through the prop forward, Thomas Hopkins. He's been impressive as well. He hasn't got the size of the other prop forward, but he gets through a mountain of work. He struggles to his feet. Comes across now to Isaac Bell. He goes forward again. Good run by the second rower. He's played a little bit of hooker at times throughout the course of the game as well. Versatile. We'll know in the dummy half now. Looks to Evans, goes the other way. Finds Staines off the right foot. 3 in the tackle from Sims. Bring him down. He's 35 metres out from the Fishies line. We'll know now. He gets it across to Herford. Herford finds Evans. He goes forward and he's caused some damage there, I think, to Kobe Wilson, who reeled out of the tackle. A little bit wounded, and Evans is wounded as well. The big guy, some heavy contact there between the Sims captain, Kobe Wilson, and the Forbes prop in Luke Evans. And Evans hasn't been able to get to his feet. A good, solid hit, and the big guy's been wounded.
It was solid contact, Benny. I think he just might have had the wind knocked out of him a little bit, and he's on the deck here. On the deck here, Evans. He's filthy on himself. He's right there, the big fella. He's up to his feet. What's Cameron Greenouch got in that bottle of water that we don't know about, Benny? A bit of magic water, and the Forbes faithful up on their feet again as they make a few changes. Young Hopkins comes from the field, and along with looks to be one of their second rowers, which may have been McClellan, as young Hartwig makes another bustling run here. Isn't he like a little bull terrier? He's still going, and Bulldog would be a word you'd use for him, for the boy going to the Bulldogs, as we see another penalty here, and we hope Sims don't lose their heads here late in the game as they make another substitution with the big fella Evans coming from the field to have a breather. A product of the college, I'm sure, is young Evans out at Red Bend, along with a lot of these kids. I know Hartwig's out at the college along with Tui and Woolno. As the ball spun away here, Charlie Staines across to Marquardt. Marquardt with a flick pass to his winger, and I think you'll find him in touch. Bit of a silly play off a penalty there, Ben. When you're trying to mount pressure and put a premiership away, they've let the Fishies off the hook again, and Kemo and the boys down there and Jason Kennedy be filthy with that, possibly due to the fact that they could have iced the game there, Benny.
Well, yeah, I mean, they gave up, obviously, give 2 points, went on the attack and gave the ball up on the first play now as the centre three-quarter there, Aidan Lake, takes the ball off the scrum. 12 metres out from his own line now, and there's a penalty to Sims for a leg grab in the tackle. Burton comes forward, he's going to look to find touch, nice and quick here. The big left foot, he gets it up towards halfway again. That's another ripping touch finder from Burton. He's been in a beaten team today, but he's been very good for Sims. Haycock now, he takes the tap, he gets it across there to the 17, which gives Jed McIntosh, he drops the ball. Forbes come up with a good hit there by Tui in defence, and he's drawn the error. Comes across now to the 16, he goes forward there, that's Tom Phillips. 3 in the tackle, including Devane. The Sims lock gets in there as well. Carter finishes the tackle off. Comes across now there to he goes forward. Good run. Again, Sims willing in defence. There's 3-4 in every tackle, but Forbes just marching downfield. Kendall will know now in the dummy half. Comes across to Tui. Tui to Hartwig. He runs forward, meets Harry Blake. Taken down 21 metres out, drops the ball. And they've let them off the hook again. But Sims are going to have to score pretty quickly. And in saying that, I've got no idea how long's left because the scoreboard's gone blank. Probably somewhere in the vicinity of 15 minutes at 24-0 in favour of Forbes.
What a rocks and diamonds day for Forbes, Benny. Young Hartwig dropping the ball there. They've been good in patches. They've played some some ordinary football in patches to Forbes, but they still lead the scoreboard as Burton puts a kick on here and looks to catch the Forbes boys out of play as the winger really going out after it there for Sims, and it's going to be a try here. Samuel Thompson with electric feet down the touchline has scored. Matt Burton has summed this situation up brilliantly with a kick off the scrum, that big left-footed boot, and in the corner goes Samuel Thompson after towing this one on into the in goal. Try to Dubbo Sims, and the Fishies are well and truly on the comeback now after a brilliant try here, and the Fishies faithful are up on their feet. A kick from the touchline here from Burton. He's right on the chalk out there, similar to where Double T, Tommy Tui, slotted one earlier. And like I said, a rocks and diamonds sort of a day here for Forbes. 24-0 up, and they've let that try in. We will get an update on how long there is to go. There would be possibly, I'd reckon, around 13 or 14 minutes left to go, Benny, as Matty Burton is about to step into this one. Look at the Forbes faithful over on the hill, absolutely up him as he takes the kick, and he'll turn around and give him a big cheeky grin as he adds the extras. 14 minutes to go. Benny, 24-6. Do we write the Fishies off?
You did about 10 minutes ago, so. But that was enterprising play there from Burton. And Sam Thompson showing blistering speed, more speed than we've ever seen from his old man Darryl, that's for sure. To score a really good try there and get them back into the contest to some degree. 24-6, as you mentioned, 13 or 14 minutes to go. Sims are going to have to do it the hard way. They're going to have to do it pretty quickly. They've got to score another 3 converted tries in order to even level the contest up. As Devane now, he takes a second hit up from the kickoff. He goes forward, struggles in the tackle, try and put him down, eventually get him down. He gets up, he's a bit angry. Comes across to Peachy. Peachy's been really good today. Peachy's burst through half a tackle there. He's looking for a penalty and he draws it, and he gets up, fired up. It's a penalty to Sims. Burton comes forward. Here he goes again. Oh, they've been marched 10 for descent. Now Burton decides to take the tap off the left foot. And the Forbes players, I don't know if they got back to 10 there. He took the quick tap and they weren't back to 10. Another penalty, and Sims will get an opportunity here. 24-6. We've got 12 minutes, 45 seconds left. Another try here makes it interesting. Fishy's riding all the momentum at the moment. Comes now with Clark. He barges forward. 4 Magpies meet him. They swoop on him in defence. Comes from Haycock, across now, finds Blake. Blake finds the centre 3/4. He matches up with his other partner, Kenny Johnson. The other centre dragged down in a good tackle there by Tui. Haycock in the dummy half. Gets it out now to Blake. Blake off the right foot, off the left. Good, solid tackle from Tui again. He's been good in defence, little half-back. He's been held on to by the man with the ball. Who gets up now, Blake. He looks to be nursing an injured arm there. Haycock goes himself in dummy half. And another solid hit. Comes across to the centre 3/4 there, and Aiden Blake, and he crosses for Sims, and all of a sudden from 24-0 down, it's 24-10, 12 minutes to go. Burton will have a kick here to make it 24-12, and we've got an intriguing last 12 minutes of play, particularly if Burton can nail this kick. Did you go off too early, Dubbo?
I've got 2 words for you here, Benny. Body language. Have a look at the Forbes boys. They're well and truly out on their feet. There will be egg on my face here, dead set. I'll be looking for the car after this if I am wrong, but this is going to be a very interesting game. If you look to the right of us, the Forbes boys are up on their feet. They're ready to go. They want this ball. They want to play. The Sims boys want to play football. Look down to the left of us here, and the Forbes boys look a little bit stunned. They look a little bit in shock as Burton steps in to take the conversion. He wasn't going to miss that. No way in the world. We got a game now, 24-12, 11 minutes to go. These Forbes boys have got to find that second win. They've got to find that extra effort. Like I said, the body language of this Sims side has changed dramatically in the last 4 to 5 minutes, and the Sims boys look a little bit deflated as Charlie Staines heads back to the middle to take the kick. it's going to be a massive effort from Staines today regardless, and Burton. Both kids will probably play 80 minutes in a grand final for their respective sides here after this game in first grade, and they're looking to play full games here for their teams in the under-18s with a good kick there. Lake takes the ball, heading back onto it now was Peckham. Peckham's taken in a front-on tackle there by Marwini. The Forbes boys need Marwini to stand up. They need Woolno, they need Tui, they need all these players that have stood up these first 40-odd, 50 minutes. They need to keep standing up here as Hereford and also young Bell come across to make a tackle there as the ball comes forward through the 11, which is Stimson. He's had a very, very good game. Comes out the back here to Burton. He's got wind in his sails. He finds Blake. Blake across to Peckham. Peckham out here to the number 3, which is Kenny Johnson. He's taken in a front-on tackle there by the winger. Isn't he full of life? Young Maguire, he's really pumped as the ball comes out the back here. Lake is in the middle now getting his hands on the ball. Obviously Bernard Wilson with a ploy there to get Lake with hands on the ball as they come across here. Back to Burton. Burton's going to go to the sky and he says, Charlie, if you want it, you can have it. Charlie stands his ground and takes it beautifully, and he'll come away from his own line. Met about 15 metres away. He'll make his way to the 20-metre line, and Forbes need a good set here, Ben.
They do, and it's getting into interesting territory. It's a 12-point lead. Sims full of enthusiasm here. Forbes have got to be careful. But don't underestimate if they do get down close to the Sims line. They may just look for a one-pointer here just to really ice this and take the wind out of the Sims sails now as Hartwig barges forward. Met in a solid tackle. That was peachy. He drilled him. But Hartwig gets up, says thanks for that. Let's go again. Forbes now go forward. Good run there. The Sims defence is up and about. That was the prop, Joe Clark, who made the tackle. Comes across now to Hereford. He puts a good kick into the corner. He wants it to sit up. It does. All right, now Sims make their way back up field through Thompson, the try scorer. He gets it out to the 20-metre line. That's a good run. And Sims have got 80 metres to go if they want to get themselves back in the contest. 24-12. We've got 8.5 to go. Good run there by Wilson, the captain. He makes 10 or 12 metres. Brought down in a two-man tackle. Spathis in there along with Tui. Comes out now to the second row forward. He's met a good tackle again. Kenny Johnson gets up, takes the ball from dummy half. And a penalty to the Fishies. Offside there against the Magpies. It was Mitchell Ruby who made the tackle. He was called offside. And the Magpies faithful, they were up and about before, but the boos are coming thick and fast now. They're under a bit of pressure on the Magpies. We've got 8 minutes to go. 24-12. Sims get the ball. Haycock takes the tap, gets it across to the fullback. He finds Clark, steps at the right foot, beats the tackle. Dragged down 20 metres out. Gets up, drops the ball, but it's a penalty. Referee Medlin, and he's blown Sims in against the Forbes player here. Woolno, the hooker, has been given 10 minutes in the bin. He won't be back. And Forbes are down to 12 players for the rest of this match. You'd have to think that that's for repeated infringements by the Magpies. As Woolno stands his ground, takes a couple of deep breaths, says, I've got all day. The rest of us don't. First grade's coming up shortly. Woolno slowly treks off, headgears off. So it's 13 on 12 now. Sims have the opportunity. They've got all the running, but they're still down 24-12. Clark takes the ball off the tap. Met in a solid tackle. There is space in the middle of the park there. Haycock now gets in the dummy half, looks left, goes right, gets it to Wilson. Wilson across to the fullback Blake. He steps on the outside. Drop ball there by, that was Lake, who's knocked the ball on. And the pressure valve has just been released a little bit as the boys, they're up and about over there. The Fishies, they're full of chatter. And the Forbes boys have given a little bit back there, you'd have to imagine, saying, look, we're up by 12, you've got 7 minutes, stop dropping the ball. Peachy and Hartwig just give each other a high five prior to the scrum. I don't know what that's about, but obviously having a good time out on the paddock. It's a nice day, grand final. Let's get amongst it. Oh, and a push from Sims in the scrum. Referee Medlin blows it back. Sims signalled their intent there. They've got a man advantage, and the player who's missing is the hooker Woolno, who would normally line up in the middle of this scrum. They feed it now, no push this time. Spathis takes the ball off the scrum, steps off his right foot, met in some solid defence there by Sims. As Forbes now bring it out from their own line. comes through the 16 there. That's big Tom Phillips. He goes forward, good run. Second tackle taken 35 metres out from his own line. Staines gets himself involved now off the ruck. He makes another 10 or 12 metres, goes over the halfway line. That's tackle 3. Tui's gone into halfback, gets it to Herford. Herford across to, that's not Spathis, that's the lock forward. Mawini, he goes forward, 38 metres out from the CYMS line. Tui now gets it to Staines. Staines just goes forward as fast as he can. Makes ground. Are they lining something up here? Doesn't look like it at the moment. No one really in position to take a shot. Tui in at dummy half. Gets it across now to Herford. Herford puts a little chip kick in. Goes there to Lake. Lake takes the ball just out from his own line. And he's dragged down 5 metres out from his own line. CYMS have got 95 to go. We've got 5.5 left in the contest. It's Forbes 24, CYMS 12.
Forbes really need to not give him a penalty away here. That's going to be the important part as CYMS try to make their way out. Forbes have gone the reinforcements. Evans back on the field. McClellan's back on the field. Also, the big number 10 is back on the field, which is Tom Hopkins, as we got a forward pass here from Dubbo CYMS, and we will pack a scrum. Forbes on the attack, 25 metres away from their own line. Surely young Tui or even Herford have to be thinking about 1 point from here, Ben. There's no doubt that it would ice the game. You would think a 1 pointer, just a 1 pointer, as referee Medlin has called time off. Staines directing traffic out behind the ruck. He'll want some ball, no doubt, as the ball comes through Tui here. Tui throws a dummy and is taken about 18 metres away from his own line. Spathis into acting half. He will pick the ball up. Spathis gets it across here. He goes himself, actually, and he's taken about 10 metres away from their own line. Do you get the feeling that Herford's standing in there, barking instructions, looking for a 1? The ball comes back across here to Herford. Herford gets it away for Staines. Staines jigs and is taken down 8 metres away from their own line. Herford jumps into acting half. He'll get the ball here to Evans. Evans goes forward. He's brought down ever so close. Tui in the pocket. Are we looking at 1 point here? They'll spin the ball back here. It goes across to Herford. Herford with quick hands to Marquardt. Marquardt's in, and that's the game for the Magpies. If Medlin points to the spot, Christian Marquardt, we've seen Tom Tui hanging back in the back of the field. We're all thinking that that's where it was going for 1 point. Through young Herford's hands, the ball gets to Marquardt. They score the try. 1 man down for the game, but it looks like Forbes are going to come away with the victory here, Benny, as Tui has a kick to win the game.
Really good work by, I think it was Thomas Hopkins, the big prop forward, got himself into dummy half. The halfback was lurking back looking for the shot at field goal. The prop got into dummy half, got it across to Herford. Herford hit Marquardt, he barged over. There was a mountain of CYMS defence there trying to stop him, but they were just a fraction late. Try from Marquardt has sealed this game now. That's 28-12. We've only got 3 minutes left on the clock. TT Tom Tui, he will line up this kick to make it 30 points. It's been a gallant effort by CYMS, really. I mean, they were 20-0 down there at half-time to get themselves back into the contest at 24-12. And realistically, they did give themselves a chance. They had the ball down near the Forbes line. Another try gets it to 24-18, and all of a sudden it's game on. But Forbes' defence stood up when it needed to, forced a couple of errors. They marched downfield, scored the try, and a number of the Forbes players have come off the field now to give some of the bench players an opportunity these last couple of minutes as Tui lines up the kick, steps forward, and he touches, wave it away, 28-12, 2 minutes left.
I have a question for you, Ben. So many good players out on the field. Man of the match, are you willing to make a bold prediction? You've got young Herford there, Tom Tui. I think Winnie's had a very good game. Charlie Staines, Marquardt. Are you willing to make a bold prediction on man of the match? I'd have to say young Tui. A bit of a rocks and diamonds day, but has been in everything as he takes the ball there.
I'd suggest Tui would be the guy. There's a little bit of trouble there from Devane. He looks like he's coming with, I don't know if it was an elbow over the top there, which Tui took exception to. The touchies have come onto the field, and we've got 1:40 left on the clock, and all of a sudden there's a little bit of spice coming into the game. Tui took the ball, hit the ground, and then Devane came over the top. A little bit of frustration and anger there, you'd imagine. But yeah, look, I think Tom Toohey, I think Thomas Hopkins has got through a mountain of work for them, and has been really good. Charlie Staines, the class, has been there on display all along. As Troy Herford makes his way off, he's been sent off, the water boy, and much to the delight of the Forbes faithful, they give him a cheer off. You see it all in bush footy grand finals, don't you? But they're going to call Devane forward here for a bit of a chat. Look, I think Tom Toohey deserves it. He scored a try. He's kicked 4 goals. He's been involved in a lot. He'd be my man of the match at the moment as Devane gets 10 in the bin. And that's his 2018 season done with 1:41 left on the clock. He won't be back. CYMS are down to 12 men. Forbes will get the penalty here, and they'll march it down, and you'd imagine that they probably want to ice this and finish their season off with another 4-pointer. Swinging arm is the signal from referee Medlin. As the Maggies, they take the tap. No one's, apart from Burton's, really wanted to get the touch today. Forbes now on the halfway line, and comes to the big prop forward, Evans. He's been good as well, just getting through a mountain of work, the big guy. He came off with a little injury earlier, but he's back out there. Here comes the 10. Hopkins, he goes forward again. He's been absolute animal for them today. He got through a lot of work. Toohey now, he finds it across to McClenahan. He barges forward. Taken 20 metres out. We've got 1:04 left. You'd imagine, barring Forbes scoring, CYMS might get another opportunity with the ball, but a little bit to play out before that as Evans now, he barges forward, makes about 15 metres there. He's dragged down 5 metres out. This is the last tackle. Little mousetrap play. It comes across to Hopkins. Hopkins, oh, I don't know if he's got that down. Looks like referee Medlin's about to award the try. And he does. He gives the try to Thomas Hopkins, the big front row. Look, I'll give him man of the match. He's got through a mountain of work. He's scored a try. He's done a really good job. He's played the bulk of the match too. And a deserved try for the big prop forward. As referee Medlin now calling out one of the CYMS players. Looks like it's potentially, is it Peach? Yeah, it's Jared Peachy. He's been called out with the captain, Kobe Wilson. Walks off. Just a warning, but that makes it 32-12 in favour of Forbes, and they're going to lift the silverware, Dubbo.
Yeah, as we'll see, Young, it looks like, Toohey's going to take the kick at goal as the siren sounds, and this Forbes faithful will be absolutely wrapped in that. They will celebrate this win long and hard. It is a very good junior team, a star-studded junior side. A side that you could see going through this season and being premiers a long way out, Benny. They have been the best team, and they've come to the grand final. Take nothing away from CYMS. They've come from near fifth spot to win to be in the grand final. They've won their way through. But congratulations to the Forbes Magpies, 2018 Toohey's new under 18s champions. And it has been a great game. We'll wait for first grade now. Yourself and Jeff Mann will be along to call first grade. As for me, thank you for the calling and helping me out today, Ben. And congratulations to Forbes. Congratulations to everyone involved in this afternoon's games. And that will wrap us up here for the under 18s grand final.
Club Under 18s Premiership to Forbes. If you were not here earlier, the league tagged their fourth successive grand final. They lost the first year, the Park Space Cats, won the second year, lost last year and returned to the winners list this year. Parks 22 defeated Westside 10. In the reserve grade, Dubbo CYMS proved too strong, winning 30-16 against Dubbo Macquarie, and you've just seen a performance of great pace, power and strength by the Forbes Magpies, and a very gutsy performance by a young Dubbo CYMS team, and it has to be said has come from the lower half of the draw and fought their way through to the grand final. And had they scored late in the second half, could well have forced that into a drawn situation. A magnificent day of rugby league here at Apex Oval. Just repeating that the Whitney's Jewellers, Tooheys new Group 11 Player of the Year, announced at our annual dinner 10 days ago was Justin Toomey White from Wellington. Our reserve grade Player of the Year was Craig McLean. The Achievement and Excellence in Rugby League Award was given to Tara McDermott from the Ningen Rugby League Football Club. And in league tag, a wonderful season capped off for the Park Space Cats when Sally Dwyer was named the Group 11 League Tag Player of the Year. If we could have both of the teams across now towards the front of the presentation, and we will acknowledge both of these outstanding young groups of men. Our games, of course, cannot proceed without officials and our referees this afternoon. Put your hands together for Mick Medlin, who was the centre referee. Mick has had an outstanding career in touch, having represented Australia on at least 3 occasions at World Cup and Trans-Tasman, and now makes his way into rugby league. His offsiders today, Jason Bain and Dale Smith. So it's good to have these young referees coming through and an experienced hand like Mick Medlin, and they oversaw what was an outstanding game of rugby league. Now, Forbes won the under-18s in 1992, and one of our referee officials earlier today was Damien Kennedy. He captained that side for Forbes and continues to contribute. In 2007 we saw a stretched arm from Alex McMillan, his brother Brad, playing first grade for Forbes today, and Joel Thompson, the captain of that side. And Forbes won in 2014, and they're now the 2018 premiers, the Dubbo RSL Club under-18s premiers for 2018. Can I call the captain of the Forbes Magpies to come forward, and the coach of the side, Jason Kennedy, to come forward to receive the trophy. So there we go, to hold up the trophy very proudly, some great names and great clubs. Clint, you should be a part of that. It's the Dubbo RSL Memorial Club. Yeah, Clint Gross is representing the Dubbo RSL Memorial Club. Congratulations.
I'd just like to say thanks to the Sim boys. First of all, they come out and played a really good game. And I think we knew we were going to play them in the final, and they come out and they definitely threw everything at us. But I have to pride our boys on our defence in the first half. I think that really helped us. Also, I'd like to say thanks to our coaching staff. They've been unbelievable all year, and just put up with us boys all year. It's been a wild bunch of boys, but yeah, I couldn't thank them enough. Like Jace and Perth and Camo and all the rest of them. Sorry if I missed anyone. I'd also like to say thanks for putting the day on. Like, it was just amazing. And last of all, thanks to all the Magpies supporters that come out and support us. I mean, you give us a lot of drive at the end of the day, and I think you're the ones that really brought us home today. So I have to say thanks to you.
And of course the Dubbo Sims team that made it through to the grand final, Kobe Wilson is the captain of the side. And I'd ask Kobe to come forward and acknowledge the performance of his team through the year. And of course both teams chock full of representative players, one of whom you will read plenty about, Matt Burton, who played in that team. Kobe, congratulations on making the grand final. And
just a quick thank you to Forbes that obviously turned up all year for us. And, yeah, they turned up today, obviously too good for us. So big thanks to the boys and the fish, all the coaches. the guys turned up all year and turned up to training, so big thank you. Cheers.
Thanks, Kobe. Congratulations. Put your hands together for all of the CYMS under-18s. Some of those boys have come together from under-8s right through into the grand final. To the Forbes Magpies, the Premiers. Before I announce the team, we will announce the player of the grand final. And here's a name that you will read plenty of. A young man who has already made his name into the selectors' eyes in the National Rugby League. He won a premiership with the Penrith Panthers jersey flag and shared that honour with a young mate, Matt Burton from Dubbo CYMS. They went on together and won the interstate title at under-18s and played country in New South Wales. And today's man of the match is Charlie Staines from Forbes. And the RSL medal to be presented by Clint Gross, care of the Dubbo RSL Memorial Club. Now Charlie does have to go off and prepare himself for first grade, but Charlie, just a few words. You've had an outstanding season.
I just like to thank the CYMS boys on today and their year. They've had a great year and they're a very strong team, and yeah, thanks boys. To our boys, yeah, I love you all, and thanks to the boys and the coaching staff, and thank you.
And now Charlie will receive his medal from his captain and from the president of Group 11, Derek Ho, and also and stay on the front of the stage. Number 2, Brad Clifton. Number 3, scored a couple of tries, Christian Markworth. Flying centre from Condobolin, Dennis Spathis. Tom Maguire, the winger. Toby Herford at 5'8", and the halfback, Thomas Toohey, a famous name in the Eugowra area. The front rowers, Luke Evans, 8. Tom Hopkins, number 10, who scored a try, and Campbell will know the hooker. Representative players, all of them. Isaac Bell, 11. Kyle McClenahan, 12. The skipper is here congratulating his team, Aaron Marwini. Jack Hartwig, ladies and gentlemen, and he might be the smallest man in the Forbes team, but the biggest heart and a great career ahead of him. Captain of the Western Zone, under-16s to the country championships this year. A very proud and a very strong player, Jack Hartwig. Mitch Ruby in 15, Thomas Phillips, Raymond Towney, Jake Shaw, Sean Towney, and John Azzi. And of course the coach of the side, Jason Kennedy, and his support team, Cameron Greenhouse, Troy Herford, Darren Butler. And we should acknowledge that Jason Kennedy and Bernard Wilson, the coach of Dubbo CYMS, had plenty of battles, predominantly those in grand finals won by Dubbo CYMS, so Jason gets to pull one back today. Congratulations to our Dubbo RSL Memorial Club Premiers 2018, the Forbes Magpies.